One of the biggest problems as a business owner in today's life is the relentless pressure of feast and famine. Now you see, it's one thing to survive, and yet it's another to be in the daily grind. But you see what happens? You see what happens in your business when you try to consistently thrive. And I don't know about you as an individual that runs a business, you as an individual that runs a business on his own, who not only runs one, but runs one that has survived and started to thrive. But for me, well, one day the reality just hit. I realized that what I was doing, it was slowly killing me. It was slowly killing my relationship with my wife of 10 years. It was slowly killing any relationship that I was ever going to have with my 3-day-old son. And it was slowly killing everything that I was on my inside, literally rotting away my body and my state of mind. You see, like many, I'd left the rat race. I left the rat race on the promise of more freedom and more money. Yet while friends enjoyed the luxury of paternity leave and child benefit, here I was at the helm of a business, at the helm of a tool that carried the promise. It carried the promise of the lifestyle of freedom and carried the promise of the freedom that I deserve. Yet for 3 long years, here I was, and I was more than I ever been when I had a job. A reality of complete and utter conflict and crisis, a reality all too familiar with many of us in business, which I would have you consider. I'd have you consider that just as one man in a business, after that business survives and it starts to thrive, most end up in a place of an inevitable feast and famine, somewhere in my experience of utter overstretch. Utter overstretch from emails, utter overstretch from customer demand, and utter overstretch from the day-to-day that just has to happen to keep your head above water. Herein lies the big problem. Something has to give. And when something has to give, the lowest hanging fruit is literally plucked from the tree. Now for most of us, that means marketing stalls, it means sales stalls, and it means profit stalls. And that's the very reason. It's the very reason that we end up in this consistent state of fatigue and panic, because customers stop picking up the phone. Because hardened customers then start a stampede. They start a stampede elsewhere on the lookout for rock bottom prices and zero profit deals, and I get it. I get the cold, hard reality of actually running a business with just one person. With just one person at the helm is just not fair. Which is why I want you to consider for a moment there is a new way. There's a new way for you to leverage your business, a new way that means that you can remove the feast and famine, a new way that comes down to a simple formula. A simple formula that I'm going to show you on the other side of this page. It's a simple formula called passive profit production. Ultimately, how you can transform your business into a machine that's going to work for you as a tool that you can use to actually take home the money that you deserve for the hours that you put in. In other words, how you can hold literally a revolution inside of your business so that the money you make and the way that it is made actually provides you with more freedom of choice, actually provides you with more freedom of stability, and it provides you with more freedom of time in the game today that we call business. Not how it was done 5 years ago, but literally how it is done today. Now, I'm not talking about the mass mediocre majority. I am not talking about those that dabble in running their own business. I am not talking about people who don't have a deep, deep desire for something else. I'm literally talking about the likes of you and I, about successful, striving business owners, the natural born providers who are out there on a day-to-day. We're out there stood on our own, doing what it takes each and every single day. Because here is the reality I'd have you consider. At the same time, we relentlessly focus everything on providing and making more, not just for us, but making more for the people that matter the most to us. We struggle. And in my experience, when we struggle with the reality that the one thing we want to feel, the one thing that we want to feel the most, the carrot that we are pursuing, the one reality that will give us the ultimate power, the ultimate freedom, it eludes us at every turn. So we continue to struggle, persisting with what we know. Rigid persistence in the hope that one day we find the keys for making money in our business in a new way that will allow us to get more customers and therefore make more money without having to sacrifice another inch of our personal lives. So on the other side of this page, I'm going to take you on a journey. I'm going to take you on a journey that is literally going to take your business on a revolution from a one-man band to a one-man empire, a journey into a alliance of like-minded entrepreneurs who are ruthlessly committed to a new way that has the reality and the possibility for the freedom of stability, a possibility for the freedom of time, and a possibility of the freedom of choice, a possibility to be provided for you by your business. So, if you run a business, if you're sick and tired of the fatigue, if you are sick and tired of being overstretched, sick and tired of the guilt, and if you have a desire, if you have a longing for a sense of control that more customers will give you, and you are ready to let it out and find another way, then I urge you to sit back and relax. And I urge you to sit back and relax because I'm about to take you on a journey that is literally going to change everything about the way you see making money in your business. I'm going to take you on that journey right now.